All right, guys. The Utah Jazz lose a tough one to Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. Let's talk about it. It's the Hoops Nerd Show. Let's talk about the Warriors first, and then we'll talk about the Jazz. But before we do, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. A lot of the people that watch this channel are members, but it's like 50-50. If you're new here, like the channel, subscribe, and hit notifications, especially if you're a Jazz fan. If you're a Jazz fan, we're doing every single Jazz game. It's 3 games in 4 nights, and I'm doing shows. So make sure you're liking and subscribing and joining the community. And if you'd like to support the channel, hit join below so you can join and be a part of the live chat and everything we do with this channel. And if you haven't already, go subscribe to my new NBA channel. And I believe the link's below. If it's not, I'll get it in there at some point. But anyways, let's get started. The Golden State Warriors have one of the greatest players to ever play, ever. And his name's Steph Curry, and he was absolutely phenomenal for the Warriors tonight. Just completely took over at the very end of the game, doing things that only Steph Curry can do. There was more to what happened though today. Let's see. I just want to shrink me, and let's just talk a little bit about it. The Warriors just had an incredible offensive night, and you can either give credit to the Warriors for what was going on, or you can just talk about the Jazz's defense. It's probably a mix of the two. Steph Curry was absolutely incredible, like he always is. 50% from 3, 6 for 12. That's amazing. And not all of those were easy shots. Like there were times where he was in traffic and hitting them, and then there were times where the Jazz decided not to guard the greatest shooter in history, and he would be left open at times. Ezekiel, good day from Australia. Tough loss tonight. Curry is insane. Absolutely. He's unbelievable. But Steph Curry tonight, 8 for 18 from the field, 6 for 12 from 3. Someone asked to make this bigger. Let's see if we can. There. That's a little better. Steph Curry, 8 for 18, 6 for 12 from the field, 6 for 7 from the free throw line. He also had 9 assists and 6 rebounds. That's just superstar stuff. And you've just got to give credit to Steph Curry and tip your hat to him that he's incredible. And that's what he does. And he hit big time shots. And it's not just shots in garbage time. It's not just shots when he's open. It's shots at the end of the game. It's shots that are contested. He's the best shooter that's ever lived. He's unbelievable. And if you have Steph Curry on your team, you always have a chance to win every single game you're in. That's just what superstars do. And that's what he did. But it wasn't just Steph Curry tonight, and it's the reason why the Warriors are much better this year is because they have so much depth, and they're just so much more well-rounded, and they have players that have just really stepped their game up. Andrew Wiggins has been really good this year. He's shooting like over 40% from 3 for the season, and he's shooting a high-level percent on his 2s. So overall, he's just become a very efficient offensive player. I don't know if he's always the best, but you look at his numbers tonight, 9 for 19, 47% from the field, 4 for 6 from 3, 66%. He wasn't hitting his free throws at a high rate, but he had 4 assists and 2 steals, 25 points plus 4. And he plays good defense. That was a nice pickup. It's crazy to think that the Warriors won that trade and got the pick. It's unbelievable that I can't remember if it turned into Kuminga or Moses Moody, but Kuminga is even starting to look like a really nice player, and he's a guy I want to do a video on. I think Kuminga has a chance to be a really nice player for them. He's going to take a little time to develop because they're so good, and it's hard to find minutes for him. But he's going to be really nice. This Warriors team it continues to retool and find guys to surround Steph Curry with. Otto Porter Jr. maybe had one of his best games ever. I mean, he's scored more in the past. Tonight he had 20 points, but he had 8 assists and 7 rebounds. He's not a huge assist guy, but he's a smart player. And one thing you'll notice when you watch Otto Porter play is he's just a good basketball player. He just makes the right play. And that's what he did. And I wanted him on the Jazz so badly. Let's just look it up. I just want to see what his contract is, but I don't believe it's a lot. It's like, oh my gosh. Look at this. He has a 1-year deal worth $2.3 million. That breaks my heart. That guy, and he's putting up this type of production. Look at this. Look at that. 2.3 mil, and he's doing that. Unbelievable. He should be in a Jazz uniform. I'm not gonna lie. The Jazz got Rudy Gay and just said, guess we're good. And Look what Otto Porter Jr. is doing. Man, that is really rough. Uh, man. Kevon Looney had a nice night. Gary Payton Jr., who plays incredible defense on the perimeter, had an efficient night. Look at that. 50-40, missed his free throw. 2 steals. As a team, the Warriors shot 53% from the field, 53% from 3. Really tough. I mean, that's good. That's good offense. I mean, Andre Iguodala going 2 for 3 from 3. That doesn't happen often. Of course, it happened tonight. 5 for 7 from the field. Let's see. 7 rebounds, 8 assists. Holy cow! Look at the assist totals here. 9 for Steph, 8 for Porter, 6 for Kevon Looney. Holy smokes! 4 for Wiggins, 2 for Poole. Jordan Poole had a nice shooting night. 3 for 6, 50-50. Man, if you were playing against the Jazz tonight, you had a good offensive night. And it's really, I mean, we can talk about, and we'll talk about the Hassan Whiteside thing, which is real and true. But you know what killed the Jazz? This. That right there. The 53% from the field, 53% from 3. You can't allow teams to shoot this level and expect to win. The fact the Jazz were even close in this, that it was only a 7-point loss, and it honestly came down to like a possession or two. It just goes to show how good the Jazz team can potentially be. Oh, sorry, guys. But also, I'm not feeling good tonight. Holy cow, I'm sick. This might not go too long. But you just can't do that. The Jazz perimeter defense has to be better. It just has to. You can't win games and not get stops at the end of the game. If you can't get stops at the end of games, or at least slow things down, you're just not going to win. And it's kind of what happened tonight. Yeah, the Jazz had some bad offensive possessions at the end, but the Warriors just went on the other end and just scored. Zintis, both the U of U and the Jazz lost today. Yeah, it's a bummer. Sad day in Utah, right? Let's look at these 3 players right here. The front court for the Jazz. Bojan Bogdanovic had another nice offensive night and 6 rebounds. He had 12 rebounds last game, which is crazy awesome. But 7 for 14 from the field, so 50, 40, 100. Incredible line, 20 points. In terms of just offensive efficiency, it just doesn't get much better than that. So just awesome stuff from Bogey. 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and only 2 turnovers. So really, you just got to give credit to Bogey. He was awesome tonight, and one of the major reasons the Jazz were in this. Royce O'Neal, who had just kind of a terrible line the other night, tonight really showed up. 71% from the field, back to his high shooting. 2 for 4 from 3, which was huge. And he had 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 15 points. This is a big-time night from Royce O'Neal. That's big-time production from him. Rudy Gobert was arguably the best player on the floor tonight. The interesting thing tonight was Quinn Snyder was mirroring Steph's minutes with Gobert for certain periods of the game, which I loved. I was surprised, and the fact that he was actually doing it was awesome because the Jazz don't do that all the time. They just kind of know this is at this minute, this player comes in. At this point, this player comes in. And this is our rotation, and that's what we do. And that's just kind of how the Jazz roll. But to actually like have minutes where Rudy Gobert comes out because Steph Curry sits, and then Steph Curry came right at the end of the third quarter for end of halftime. Oh, why am I yawning, guys? I'm sorry. But they had Steph Curry come in right before halftime to try to get a 3-point shot, and Quinn brought Rudy Gobert back in. Awesome. Now, it might have just been because Hassan Whiteside was out, and so that's why he's doing it, and maybe he doesn't want to make Hassan Whiteside mad or something if Hassan Whiteside was in. I don't know if we actually see that when Hassan Whiteside comes back, but it was nice to see for one night, and it worked. Rudy Gobert in, a 7-point loss for the Jazz, was a +10, and it's not a surprise. He was absolutely incredible. 20 points, let's see, for Rudy Gobert, 20 points, 19 rebounds, almost 20-20, and 2 assists. I think I might have had that wrong in SLC Dunk. I might need to go in there and edit that quick. 2 assists. Absolutely phenomenal. Just incredible production for Rudy Gobert. I just can't say enough. He was unbelievable. 2 assists. He had no blocks because they couldn't challenge him because they were afraid. They had fear in their heart. But where the Jazz struggled offensively was right here. Donovan Mitchell and Mike Conley both had... Sorry, my alarm keeps going off. Donovan Mitchell and Mike Conley both had bad shooting nights from the field. Just hard to overcome this, and both of them struggled from three. Conley was at least 2 for 6. The nice thing for Utah was the 9 assists for Donovan Mitchell. He's just getting better and better and better, and he still managed 20 points, but he shot 21% from the field. That is rough. Like, that is really rough. And he had multiple shots at the rim that he normally makes that just didn't fall. Like we mentioned, Rudy Gay played multiple minutes tonight at the backup 5 spot, and there's 2 ways that really hurt the Jazz. One, and it's not surprising that he was a minus 19. The Jazz have no perimeter defenders. I mean, Royce O'Neal at times, but he is so streaky on defense sometimes. It's crazy. But Rudy Gay played the backup 5, and because the Jazz perimeter defense is so putrid, they couldn't stop anything. And for whatever reason, when it's what you'd think the offense would be even more, have more firepower, it just doesn't seem to score as much as you would think. And so I don't know if the Jazz need to keep practicing that or what, but it just didn't work tonight. So that's the first reason, is Rudy Gay's at the 5. And the second reason it really hurts the Jazz is because Rudy Gay, when he's next to Rudy Gobert, is turning out to be an incredible front court. It does so well defensively, and it does some nice things. The backcourt, and the small forward position, I don't know what you do in terms of defense. But when you have Rudy Gay and Rudy Gobert as your front court, it is really nice. And we'll see more and more in that as the season goes on, and especially in the playoffs. In fact, I would not be surprised if we see, I don't know how the Jazz figure out the Bojan minutes and the Royce minutes with Rudy Gay's minutes in the playoffs, because you need to play Rudy Gay a lot more in the playoffs, and especially like to close games. And I know tonight's shooting wasn't great for him, but there were multiple reasons why this was tough. Hassan Whiteside helps because he's a good rim protector, but Hassan Whiteside allows Rudy Gay to be a little more versatile and play with Rudy Gobert. And that's part of why that really hurts. Not much else to say. Jordan Clarkson had a really nice night. He kind of struggled to facilitate the ball. That's why tonight we don't have any assists to look at for Clarkson. 0 assists. But he did shoot the ball well. 8 for 14 from the field. 4 for 7 from 3, which is really nice, 20 points. But he was kind of part of this 5-out lineup that just didn't work. And I every time I see it and I see Rudy Gay with the ball in his hands on the 5-out lineup, I don't get it, because I would much rather have the ball in Clarkson's hands or Mike Conley or Donovan Mitchell, especially Donovan Mitchell. In a 5-out lineup, Donovan Mitchell will absolutely feast. And so that was tough. Joe Ingles, I don't know. I feel almost kind of bad beating this dead horse, but 1 for 7 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3. He played 25 minutes tonight, had 2 points, 4 fouls, 2 assists, and 1 steal. This is just not very good production. It's just not good. And, like we talked about before, last game we saw Trent Forrest play minutes instead of Jared Butler. And in a game that the Jazz played like it was a playoff game, we didn't see either of them on the floor. So it makes you wonder why it's even more annoying that Jared Butler didn't get more minutes last game. There we go. Is it going to annoy somebody that I found a way to talk about Jared Butler. There we go. But anyways, I think that's everything I've got to talk about tonight, guys. I'm not feeling good. My nose is running as we speak. But let's give a shout out to our All-Stars before we go. Let's give a shout out to Baby Elliot Matson. X marks the spot for Zintis. Jordan Besserell, the GOAT. Ryan Perry, the legend. Joshua Hansen, the Danish Destroyer. And one Anton Warren, Ezekiel Raisibe, the man from down under. JT Buckets Wardell. Austin, our Grant editor extraordinaire. Eric C, the C stands for champion. Donald Schooley and all of us. DW to CB. Darren Williams to Carlos Boozer. Jorge Arrizaga, mi amigo de abajo. Lee Christensen driving the lane. Justin Ty H. Patrick Kubo, the connoisseur. Robert Hall of Fame, and DW Jazz going all the way. Guys, tough loss for the Jazz. It would have been nice to see them beat the Warriors, especially since they did not have Draymond Green playing. So that maybe makes us even a little more sad tonight. But you know what? I watched the Boba Fett first episode, and it was dope. It's freaking awesome. How cool was that? All right? So if you're having a bad time, go watch the Book of Boba Fett. It is excellent. Everything about it is cool. Just the cool factor overall is over the top. Awesome. Hey, Zintis, thank you. I'm going to try to get some rest. We'll see if I head to church tomorrow or if I call it in. We'll see. I'm not feeling good and probably don't want to be spreading germs at this in the world right now. So anyways, guys, like and subscribe to the channel. I will talk to you next